Oh, hi, how are you?
Good morning, Srinivas.
Morning to you.
You have to tilt your phone. You're doing from phone or laptop?
Yeah, I need that thing sent to my computer, but you sent me to my phone, so I have to need that. Is there a way you can send it to my computer?
I sent the link to your mail now.
You did? Okay,
Yeah,
just give me
I
two
did.
minutes and I got that.
No
Okay,
problem. No problem.
thank you.
Lalesh, ready now? వస్తున్నాడు వస్తున్నాడు ఇస్తున్నాడు వచ్చిండు మొబైల్ వస్తే ల్యాప్టాప్ లో రమ్మన్నా సో ఈజ్ జస్ట్ జాయినింగ్ 2 minutes. హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ యా ఎక్కువ ఏం పెట్టాను హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ 40 minutes లో క్లోజ్ చేస్తాను
Yeah, is the light adequate? Because today is raining a bit. Or adequate light?
లైట్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ వెనకాల ఎక్కువ ఉంది శ్రీనివాస్ గారు యువర్ నేమ్ ఆల్సో యూ నీడ్ టు చేంజ్ దిల్లాగ్
Okay, so
యా ఐ థింక్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ మీరు క్లోజ్ చేయాలి విండో దట్స్ ద రీజన్ యువర్ లైట్ ఇస్
okay, hold on, give me a minute. Let me try the other way around.
యా దిస్ సైడ్ yes now it is good yes
Yeah, so
now it's good yeah yeah he's just typing changing the name yeah that's
you
perfect.
able to see that? Right? Yeah,
you
okay.
can be same as me if you can match the height center yeah perfect ఇంకా కొద్దిగా కిందికి
Huh?
కొద్దిగా కిందికి ఇంకా మీరు కెమెరా టిల్ట్ డౌన్ ఎస్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ కొద్దిగా సెంటర్కి వచ్చేసేయండి ఐ థింక్ ఇట్ షుడ్
Good to go?
యా ఓకేనా లాలేష్ ఓకే కౌంట్ డౌన్ అండ్ విల్ స్టార్ట్ in 30 minutes we'll go simple, we'll go very which is motivational to our Indo-Americans. That would be our target, and
Absolutely,
more LLMs and how it is useful in the real-time use cases.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Of course I give a lot of questions, but I'll limit.
Ready, sir?
Ready.
I'm going to start here.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to TV5 and Mana TV. You are watching Insight with Praveen Puram live from Atlanta. As we have been doing multiple episodes, today we will touch upon AI. AI is everywhere now. AI is no more a buzzword, but how that is into action. So today our esteemed guest, I'm very honored to welcome Mr. Dr. Srinivas Kilambi, CEO of Sriya AI. Thank you, Srinivas, for making some time during this weekend to give your insights on AI, and we appreciate you being on our podcast. Again,
thank you very much, Praveen, and thank you all TV5, Mana TV. I'm really honored.
thank you. So, as you all know, Insight with Praveen Puram is one effort to bring all the Indo-Americans on my as a guest and give insights from what they are good at, right? Srinivas, you are okay. So let me introduce Dr. Srinivas. I'm very honored to welcome him as a true global innovator. He's also CEO of Sriya.ai, and his career is spanning over 3 decades, right? He has seamlessly bridged the world of academia, sustainability, and deep tech. He's a founder of Sriya Group, where he delivered a 9x return to investors, and he has held leadership roles giant like Tata Chemicals, Reliance, Biorefinery. He has been recognized by World Economic Forum, TIE, and was Green Cement Innovation Award winner. He's leading Sriya.ai. He's pushing the frontiers of AI, machine learning, and his proprietary innovation LNM to solve the real world problems in clean tech, biotech, and beyond. He holds a degree from IIT Chennai, John Hopkins, and the University of Tennessee, and also happens to be a CFA chartered holder. Let's dive into this journey and what the future holds for AI, innovation, and global impact. With that said, we warmly welcome you, Srinivas Garu. Thank you for
Thank you very much, Andy. Thank you very much.
So, first of all, in this episode, I just wanted to bring 1 minute about your journey. We just wanted to inspire how your day goes, right? So, we just wanted to know from the leaders like you to inspire ourselves and max utilize our time in the day, right? Just give us 1 minute. What is your day look like? How you spend your time? So that will be very insightful to the audience.
Thank you. So 2 things I do religiously every day, wherever I am, whether I am in my house, at work, even on an airplane, even at airports, is to meditate, because that's very critical. The brain has to be calm, collected. I do pranayamas for 1 hour, regardless of wherever. Even in a plane, I've done that for 25 years. Number 2 is innovate. So meditate and innovate, and they both go hand in hand. So you never stop learning till the last second of your life. And that's critical. And learning is not just going to textbooks. The learning is keeping your mind and brain open and receiving and understanding anything which comes your way. And then using the learning, to bring some significant changes to people's lives and environment and surroundings. And that's critical. So how do we bring that together? My God is science and technology. I'm so passionate about innovation, science, technology, that's my God. Okay, and that's what do I pray to, and my entire passion. So a lot of times I spend about how do we ideate, how do we innovate, how do we bring new technologies, and that's why if you see my journey, it has been on areas where predominantly nobody has done before. And I can give a list later on. From India to here, I've done things which have only been dreamt and have not been even tried till I began. And that only comes when your mind is very clear and your brain is willing to listen, receive, and innovate. So that's the two things I am very religious and passionate about. The rest of it is normal like anybody else. Thank you.
Excellent, Dr. Srinivas. This gives a very insight that 2 things: meditate and innovate.
Innovate.
So that are the 2 takeaways from you today. And right. Being into the chemical engineering, right? And also you have been like a professor, and you have been into different, and came all of a sudden into AI. What triggered in your journey to learn AI and to bring innovation in AI?
Right. So I'm a PhD in chemical engineering. I was the CEO of Tata Chemicals and Innovation Group and Reliance Innovation Group. So I had 4 companies with 2 IPOs and about 25 patents. So you're right. So it's a big shift. But is it really a shift? No, because see, people think AI is IT. No, AI is not IT. So IT is a lot about coding. AI is a lot about science and about mathematics. So all about machine learning, deep learning, even all AI, LLMs are all mathematics, heavily mathematics. So mathematics is the foundation of every science, whether it is chemical engineering, whether it is mechanical engineering with AI. Okay, so to me, as somebody who loves mathematics that what brought me into data science. Okay, so it's all about data science, numbers, and I wanted to look from a perspective which is very different than what was being looked at. And see, people generally think that the minute you data science, people start thinking the first thing is Python coding. No, not really. The Python coding comes last. What comes before is what exactly you want to do, or what I call is the four W's in the how. What, when, where, why, before the how. The how is what the coding comes. But unless you have what, when, where, why clearly defined, mathematically and with physics and with science, your how is going to be a total failure. So, and if I may say so, without being condescending, that is one reason why India has not produced a single product, because they only of worldwide repute, because they only start with the how. Okay, they don't think what am I going to do? Why am I doing this? It's like, okay, so why? So whether it's a Facebook or whether it is a Google or it's OpenAI or DeepSeek, it's high time people thought in that. So I think that this particular quest for mathematics, science, knowledge took me from the field of chemical engineering, and I completely self-taught. I have not been to a single class. I have not been to a single course, no Coursera, no Udemy. So I've self-taught, and I actually became a professor of AI. So I learned well enough to actually teach grad school at Clarkson University. So the journey was fantastic. I began the journey in 2014, so it's more like 11 years now, and it's growing by the day. Thank you.
Excellent, Srinivas garu. So when I speak to you, definitely I see that passion in you. And from your conversation, it is very clear that mathematics to not to focus on how, but focus on the other things to do how.
Right.
So you
How
also
should come last?
made an interesting point in India, because most of the innovations are across the other countries, Western countries, right? So now, what is your message in, especially in this in India? Do you suggest a change in the curriculum? Because always we
Oh,
focus
absolutely. In fact, I have written to IITs and even to United States, even to Georgia Tech. My daughter has graduated. The curriculum has to change, and that's because people have to understand that the technology is progressing so fast, especially in AI. What was relevant 2 months ago is no longer relevant, and the speed at which AI agents are coming. So unless students are taught very quickly upfront, there has to be some sort of mixture of curriculum based on academia and what is happening in real life industry. And that's only possible if they hire people called professors of practice, or somebody who has a mixture, a blend of both academics and industry, not just one or the other. Okay, you need both. And that, I think, is the biggest missing piece. But to answer the question, the way what I suggested was there should be at least one mandatory course for every bachelor's, and more than one, where the focus should be on just innovation. And innovation, the best way is, this is what I wrote. Each faculty in their own field should check what was the last 25 patents granted across the world in that field. Let's say AI. What were the 25 patents granted? What were they about? And just tell them that, the students. Here are the last 25 inventions. Okay. Here is what people have been doing in the last 3 months or 6 months or 12 months. So now students know what is current. There's no point going 5 years back. Okay, what is happening today? So now a fresh young kid of 18, 21, 20 is, so what if I take this and make 2 plus 2 not 4 but 5? The one coming from his or her brain. Only way they will know is if they know what those 2 and 2s are, right? But if nobody teaches them those 2s, then they will never hit the 5. They may not even hit the 4 also. So I think that's what I said. Regardless, chemical engineering, is AI, is civil engineering, mechanical engineering, innovation is happening every day at a different pace. But if they can bring these topics, that's critical. I'll give you one example, okay, if you don't mind. So in the field where I was in chemical engineering, so for example, this is made of there's water inside here, right? So it's carbonated water, and it's a zero. So now people know water. We all drink water, right? All of us drink. But have any of you heard of a product called supercritical water?
No.
No. So let me tell you what that is. Supercritical water is the same water at 375 degrees centigrade and 225 atmospheric pressure. Now, why is it so critical? This water is so harmless when you drink. If that water enters human body, within less than 5 seconds, nothing will remain. It's what I call the perfect murder, if I may say so. Nothing remains. So it is so potent. That means the science of supercritical water, the same water, is completely changed to becoming that potent, as opposed to being so benign. So the uses of this water and supercritical water are so different. 18 of my 20, 30 patents are on supercritical water. So what happened was, when I said to Kleiner Perkins and even to Mukesh Ambani, when I was CEO of Reliance, that I could convert biomass to sugar using supercritical water in 5 seconds, what today was 5 days in 2007. Nobody believed me, but then somebody believed in Kleiner. They put the money in, and we were able to do it in less than 1 second. So why is it possible? Because I thought of a product, nobody knew what it was. Okay, so unless students are aware of what this is, they will not. Similarly, in AI, for example, everybody thinks of LLMs, right? But there is something called LNM, which I have built. And have you heard of LQM?
No.
No. So what is LQM? So LQM is not mine. It is a large quantitative model. It is being run by a Google spin-off called Sandbox. And they raised about $900 million in 6 billion valuation in the last 6 months. $900 million. Okay? It's all only happens in Silicon Valley. People don't even know. So because what they say and what I say is business runs on numbers, not language. Okay? And all data and SAP, Oracle is all structured quant data. And you don't go to Reddit to understand how to build a new molecule to solve cancer. You go to fundamentals of science, chemistry, math, so on. So unless students are taught what an LQM is or an LNM is in curriculum at Tech or MIT or wherever, or even in IITs or India, how will they know how to create the next L something? Right? They won't know. And that's the message we have to give across.
Very, very interesting, Srinivas. I think that's the way today's curriculum need to be enhanced. Definitely point taken. And also coming to your point, the interview also fascinated me to know about more LNM. Before that, what I would love to hear from you, how this Shriya.ai started, if you can tell, because most of them start the company just for the sake of money or so. But from your conversation, it is very clear that innovation, you want to do something with numbers.
So money is something which I have had 4 companies where 2 went to US IPO. I had 1 company which had a $280 million exit. So money-wise, God bless, I've done enough. I mean, am I the multi-billionaire? No, but I'm good enough. So money is not the sole any criteria in my innovation. So where Shriya AI began was in 2021, when I was a faculty at Clarkson University teaching AI. And I found that the models which are traditionally used for quant data, XGBoost, random forest, and deep neural network failed beyond textbooks. Real life problems, their accuracies were limited, their predictions were poor, especially because on small data sets, complex data sets, because there were just too many variables, and the real life problems were being left alone. So people were saying, okay, it works in textbooks, it works on class problems, but real life is a lot different. So at that point I thought, okay, can I build something which can completely transform and disrupt us? So pretty happy to say that we filed 7 patents on this, and I built what is called SXI, called a Shriya Expert Index. And it follows, and that was my origin of Shriya AI was this quest to go and create a technology from scratch, from absolute zero, which can basically do what the traditional machine learning, deep learning models cannot do, which is to predict with the highest accuracy and precision, around 99% nearly every time. So we built this technology called SXI, and we were able to, I'm happy to say, we did about 50 case studies, and every one of them, we have, and if you go to our website, you'll see at the table, we have beaten nearly every particular technology from LLMs like OpenAI to DeepSeek to basically things like C3 AI or H2O, every possible thing. And why? Because it's able to look at what the simple mantra. Human brain has a tough time understanding beyond 2 dimensions. 3 dimensions, probably. 4 or 5, next, forget it, right? Most, even me, any one of you. So the AI, unfortunately, machine learning AI is looking at billions or tens and 30s, and the too many dimensions floating, and it's very difficult to understand how do I implement. It may give you the best result, but if you don't understand it, how to implement, it is what I call operation successful, patient died. Right? You are the best, technically, you do the best surgery, but the patient died, well, who cares? So same thing happened now. So in order to save the patient, which is the business, you have to make something which the business can understand. What they say in America, did the dog eat the dog food? You make the best dog food, but dog doesn't eat it, it's useless. So to make the dog eat the dog food, the dog has to first understand this dog food is good for itself, it tastes well. So it has to sniff well, look well, taste well. So we created this technology where we look at this entire scope of variables and convert it into a single variable. It's called super feature. So what is simple analogy? Is credit score. We all use credit score every day.
Yes.
What is credit score? Credit score is one number. It is a summation of hundreds of variables, like how many loans you took, how long you took, how many you paid, how many you defaulted, where you were, so on. Before credit score came, insurers had a tough time understanding whom to insure, whom not to insure, whom to lend. Now they know, 800 and above, this guy is fantastic, give any amount. 550 and below, forget about it, right? It brought, why? Because we're looking at one number. That was the inspiration for Shriya AI. Can I recreate a credit score type scores for any discipline across the board? Why just one? And now we have close to 50 such indices. Whereas financial fraud, healthcare readmissions, supply chain optimization, manufacturing productivity, we have built these reference points. So with these reference points, businesses can now map and say, okay, my score of last month, my financial score last month, this score was 20. I need to bring it down to 18. So I'm looking at just 2 numbers as opposed to 200 variables. So that is the source of the inspiration. Now, LLMs came afterwards. If I may say so, LLMs came because LLMs fail in this. So if LLMs fail in this, what should we do? So we built an LLM from scratch called a large numerical model. It is completely unlike LLM. It is very vertically curated. It doesn't hallucinate. Hallucination is no errors, very accurate, very precise. And best thing, runs on CPU. No GPU required. Okay, doesn't need any nuclear energies or cooling systems and so on. So we run on a beautiful CPU on my laptop, and it works beautifully. It's very precise, very accurate, and it's curated to a vertical. So LLM uses just like LLMs use GPT as the underlying technology. LLMs use SXI as the underlying technology.
Wow. So in a layman terms, LLM is a replacement of LLM.
For numerical and quantitative data only.
Okay.
We don't do text. So the text part of it, they do very well. However, business runs on numbers. Okay. When a company reports earnings, it reports numbers, EPS, sales. Okay. Doesn't matter what the CEO says. The CEO says 100 things. But if that number didn't match the expectation of the analyst, stock goes down.
Absolutely.
If number exceeds, stock goes up. Okay. So numbers play the first role, then comes the language over it. LLMs are fantastic to some extent on language, they still hallucinate. LLMs are for this side. That's what it is.
So, Dr. Srinivas, so when you are invented the LLMs, what is your way you bring it to the market and the people follow the standard as LLMs? So, is there any way that you have a plan in the market?
Yes. So we are, right. So we are now, as we speak, today we had a meeting this morning, the same thing we talked about. We are completely prioritizing it. So we're looking at two things. One is we are creating a self-service product which can be easily accessible, and it's totally, the price is going to be consumption based, which is all based on how much you are consuming. and maybe in the near future, I may even open source it. So
Excellent.
that it's beneficial to a lot of people, especially in India and people. And I want to see India become a product country as opposed to the technology in India which people should not create 10 more Swiggies and Zomatos. We have enough of them. We need more like DeepSeeks, OpenAIs, SAPs, Oracle, even TikTok. We have not been able to get so far. Even TikTok, that clever product we don't have. Why? We got to think and change that. And hopefully LLMs will go in direction. Number two is I want all the youngsters who are listening here to think about you don't become a job seeker, become a job creator.
Absolutely.
So how do you do that? Is by embracing innovation, taking risk, no reward. I have taken a lot of risks in my life. My first company, Praveen, was I began in India when I was the final year of IIT Madras. I'm still the only person in the history of IIT Madras who incorporated his first company in India in the final year of IIT Madras. I began a biotechnology company which actually made biochemicals from the shells of crabs and prawns. Believe me, I've never seen a crab or a prawn dead or alive before and after. Okay, so but during that period, I took that and produced the biochemical which today people know as glucosamine.
What's that?
Glucosamine. If you go to GNC, it's now people use glucosamine everywhere for joint pains, everything. I was the first person in the world to produce the polymer of glucosamine. It's called chitin or chitosan. The first in the world. And in 1989, 88, 89, I won the India's Best Entrepreneur Award also at that time. Okay, so what I'm saying that is start young, start early, start bright, and win. Okay, but only with taking a risk. Don't start something so simple. Anything simple is not worth it. And don't use shortcuts. Don't use shortcuts and focus on science, research, innovation.
Excellent. I think this brings me another point, Mr. Srinivas. Most of the IIT, you said that, they come back to US and then work. What do you think? What made you to come here, and how can you stop and work for India?
So I have been to India, I think personally. So I came here for better opportunity, better studies. First thing is, let's be very frank. IITs are great, but not a single IIT is in the top 200 of the world. That's sad. That is even today. So that is bad. Okay, not even the top 200 of the universities. Okay, forget about 100, forget about 10. So why? That needs to be first thought about. The government of India, IITs, sit down and think. Okay, so obviously people will look. Then the second thing is opportunities. In terms of now, imagine the venture capital firms gave me 30, 50, 70 million dollars to somebody whose name is Srinivas Kilambi, not John Doe, who doesn't look like them, doesn't speak like them, nothing. But they were in California, I was in Atlanta, they gave and we flourished. How many do? See, when I was in Reliance, I asked Mr. Ramani, what exactly, so I told him very pointedly, you are there, I am here because you are born to Coquilaband. If I would have been born to Coquilaband, I would have been there. Is that the only criteria? The only criteria is that you're born to somebody, you become the best. Ford's son is not running Ford. Bill Gates' son is not running, Satya Nadella is not Bill Gates' son. Sundar Pichai is not Larry Page's son. We have to change that. We have to make the best person available to run all the best companies in India. Only then you will see innovation. It is if the best person happens to be your child, very well. But that should not be the only criteria. So, and the last thing is, I have been to India 4 times. And I had 2 stints as a CEOs of the biggest companies. The problem is risk aversion. Everybody wants proven where it has been done before. Nobody wants to be the first. Forget about first. Nobody wants to be third in line. They all want to be 10th and 20th. Okay. So take an example. World's first jet engine was built by the Germans in 1941. It flew called Messerschmitt 262 for the first jet plane in 1942. Okay. 83 years later, India still is looking for importing the jet engine technology. How shameful is that? We still want GE, Safran, Rolls-Royce to give. Why can't the 1.45 billion people 250 engineering million graduates come together. Why can't Reliance, Tata's, L&T all come together and build our own engine for our tanks, for our ships, for our planes? We said had a war, Pakistan, ceasefire, thank God. But everything is still imported. Why? So this culture has to change. The only way it can change is if we recognize the importance of innovation, research, look long term, don't look short term, and start young and start big. And with the right innovation and right atmosphere and least amount of babugiri, least amount of bureaucracy, okay, so that innovation flourishes. But that happens, believe me, nobody will come here. All of us, including me, would like to go back today and do something if able to. I tried at the highest levels, didn't work out, I had to come back because they will not take any risk. The same technology I gave to Reliance, they said no. I came back here, Kleiner said yes, rest is history.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. I think risk is reward, definitely.
Yeah. No risk, no reward,
Absolutely. So many Indo-Americans and NRS are interested in leveraging AI, ML for their careers and startups. What is the most promising sector where you can enter and invest? What would be your suggestion?
So first thing is there is no shortcut. You have to learn your basics. So you got to know what is machine learning and what is deep learning first, enough to understand. Only then you can go into what's called LNMs, AI agents. So that you can't go straight jump into an AI agent and understand what. So right now, there are thousands of companies being built every day to build AI agents. So what is an AI agent? So we just put up an AI agent out last week. What it did is it took the result of the large numerical model in a particular financial fraud. The output of the thing was a big decision tree, and it has got numerous branches, nodes, and numbers and everything. And normally a person of my caliber, a PhD in data science, has to look at it, interpret, understand, and explain. Believe me, the agent we built was able to do that in a fraction of a time as well. So it scares me because if a person like me can be replaced at my scale, means a lot can happen in the near future. So what I would advise to all the young people is don't get scared. But every time there was an industrial revolution, something for short term, there was a turmoil. Then came the internet revolution, information revolution. Now it is the AI revolution. So you got to take the bull by the horns and ride it, not get crushed by it. To ride it, you have to first catch the bull, climb on it, and then ride it. If you can't climb the bull, you're never going to ride it. So to climb the bull, you got to first understand how it is, what is running, what is the speed, where to enter and where to exit. So what I would say is don't get scared. There's opportunity everywhere. Create, and this is going to create fresh opportunities. Use that to win. But to answer your question simply, the easiest way is first learn the basics of AI, machine learning, and deep learning, and then look at where you want to position and think product wise. Don't think service wise. Think product wise and try to solve a problem which a business wants or a consumer wants, not what you want. Okay.
Absolutely.
Look at what is the pain and try to solve a problem, whether it's customer service, whether it is in whatever. And it can be very small, but every small is potentially leads to a bigger outcome. Okay.
Absolutely. So one other point to add in this, most of the mid-level managers, right? Today, they are stuck in between the management, and now with AI coming, you need to be hands-on. What is the suggestion for them, exclusively Srinivas? Because definitely they'll struggle in the coming 1-2 years.
Right. So you're right. It is going to be very tough. So those who are, I would say, 55 and above, I think safer. Those who are 35 and below, I think can learn. Those who are in between the
Exactly.
40s are in a no man's land right now, okay, or no woman's land, whatever, whichever gender you are. So what my suggestion is, look, don't be an ostrich and bury your head in the sand. If I can't see it, they can't see me. Don't do that. You got 15, 20 more years of career left, and unless you do something, it's going to bury you. So the short answer is, okay, don't get scared, don't get overwhelmed. Find a way to address the problem by catching the bull by the horns. Say, okay, if I have to win over AI, I have to first learn AI. Like how I did. I never knew anything. I never went to a single class. I'm not okay. And then take the help advice of best people, including people like you, me, every one of us, and and put short, small goals and objectives every 1 month, 3 months. Don't try to build the fifth generation fighter first day. Build and then use this as a ladder to climb. Nothing is going to change in 6 months. However, if you don't do anything next 2 years, it'll be deep trouble. So use every 3 months, every quarter as stepping steps to reach the goal in the next 1 to 2 years. That I'm sure things will get better off. So they have to embrace, they have to win by learning, not by running away. You have to. There's no other way.
Great insight, Mr. Srinivas. One question I wanted to ask you: we have a lot of startups coming in, right? In the past 3 4 years, if you see, there is a tremendous boom startups not only in India, US, everywhere. To my knowledge, I know you might have more knowledge than anyone else. What I see is any product they can come into an incubation, but selling is a very difficult task today. So in Shriya.ai, you might have encountered such situations. So what is the suggestion for the young entrepreneurs or new startups? How do they need to be very cognizant in marketing and selling strategies?
You're fantastic. In fact, I'll be honest with you, even I have not solved the problem yet. So I'll be honest with you. Selling is an art, okay? And technology is science. Science is precise. Art is very hazy. It's in the hands of the artist can draw a trash or beautiful the same picture. I show you two pictures, a picture, you draw, I draw the same brush, same canvas, same picture. We both will draw completely different. It may look beautiful, not good. But if general person, if you ask 2 plus 2, you'll say 4, I'll say 4. The size is precise. So we first realize that art is that marketing and sales is an art, less of science, which means you are very creative. You're very creative. And first thing is learn, as I say, what dog is dog food. What does the dog want? What flavor the dog wants? What is it they're looking for? Try to understand the customer, listen. And so we have been selected for 2 SBIR fast track grants by NSF. Very rare to have 2 approved at the same time. And the one criteria they put before, they even said us that I had to go through 8 weeks of know your customer training.
Wow.
Okay. We had to go through of that before they selected, because they said, and they went through a rigorous procedure. So it's very important to go through, and it opens your eyes, because first thing is listen. We Indians love to talk, and talk is somebody said cheap. No, talk is free. We have to learn to listen, including me. Okay, listen and understand what the customer wants. Try to talk with them. So Monday, for example, I'm having meetings with 2 important meetings with the deputy managing director of Axis Bank in India. And at evening, I'm talking to a CTO of a top insurance company in US. So these two are 2 business I'm trying to close or just get started. So first thing is I have to listen to them as to what is their pain. What do they want solved first? So look at that. Not what you think they want, is what they want. So once you understand what they want, then the product or technology can be tailored. So if you're building a new product, do a very thorough understanding of where the pain is. Pick a simple spot. Try to solve one pain, not 100. Okay, and get a product out for that one pain point, and show it works. After that, for example, Google, right? People see Google as Google Earth, Google Maps, but it began as a search engine.
Yeah.
And they only did one thing very well first. Once they were successful with one thing, they moved and built hundreds afterwards. Without a search engine, today, Google would be nothing.
Absolutely.
Right? So something very similar we have to take into account is that we have to put together, okay? And next, another example, Intel. Intel was successful, they never innovated. They sat on their, okay? And look at them right now. Like absolutely right now, as close as possible to oblivion. Why? Innovation never stops. Okay, learning never stops. If you get too cozy, too comfortable, you'll become like what happened to Kodak. You know, people at one time we all used to use Kodak Prince, now today don't exist. That's the difference between success. So and innovation. Because to innovate, success will follow. Learn, success will follow. Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the final question I have is, what role has mentorship played in your journey, and how can young generation in the US tap into mentorship from thought leaders like you? This is the biggest thought I have.
Yeah.
How
So
can we achieve
so
this?
mentors are essential every part of life. Even now, I need. So if you see my company's website, you'll see about 20 people who are all I have assembled as advisors, partners. They're very good people, very top people. They're in fact probably better than me in their respective angles. So you always need mentors, regardless of how good you are, okay, and wherever you are in your journey. So please seek advice, please seek mentorship. As opposed to whom do you seek will depend upon who you are and what stage you are. But at least getting one or two is must. I, as a person, am very passionate, available to any youngster and who wants to seek my advice in India or here, especially among the Indian American community, especially among the Telugu American community. I will be honored and love to help them if they are trying innovation product companies. As people came to me and says, I want to start a service company, I want to start a consulting company. I don't know that. Okay? My wife always says, why didn't you start a consulting company like every Telugu guy did and put 500 people? This నాకు రాదని. Okay, వచ్చుంటే బాగుండేది రాదు. I don't know. I've never done. నా brain పనిచేయదు. What can I do? So maybe that's what it is. So anybody who wants to be a next Elon Musk or next Bezos or Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, I want to play 1% in that. I'd be honored.
Very excellent. I think that's a great thought. So you have to listen to yourself what you're strong at, right? So that's what exactly you're doing, and definitely we will follow. So basically, from your conversation, it is very clear having a mentor always helps. Even
Absolutely.
I'm struggling myself because when I talk to 90 plus people, everyone said that we need to have a mentor. So now I'm really marching towards that. And the second thing, through this platform, I have been inspiring people. And also now I want to set the stage for young entrepreneurs, young ideas, as I already discussed, and you were always with me. And we will be starting very soon within this month. We will come with a
Absolutely.
plan.
You can always count on somebody like me to help youngsters. My daughter just graduated from Georgia Tech, and there are hundreds like her. I am more than willing to do whatever it takes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So the last thing to the community, what is your final message, especially on the AI, ML, the governances across the AI, ML? What is your suggestion to the Indo-Americans, not only youngsters, but also the mid-level, high-level managers who are working here?
So first is accept AI is everywhere. Second, don't run away from it. 3, learn and conquer. 4, innovate. 5, win. That's it. You go in that order, you're going to succeed. 9 out of 10 times. Okay? No shortcuts. That's the steps. You have to go through those 5 steps. You can't win if you don't accept. And then learn. Then create a product to conquer. With teams, you have to go through the 5 steps. And that is critical. So my suggestion to everybody, regardless of who you are, where you are, is start the learning process first, acceptance process first. You need help, seek a mentor. There are people available. I'm available. There are much better than me available. Okay. And don't hesitate to give. You're not going to see, there's a saying in that free of the finance, right? Sorry for saying Telugu, right? We don't want that. Don't focus only on free advice. You may have to pay, and you might have to pay by equity, you may have to pay by cash, because the best advice is not free. Okay, I always say there's only one thing free: there's cheese in a mousetrap. So apart from that, everything has a price. So if you want the best, be ready to get it, because sometimes if you take wait too late, it can be in the end. So please get the right mentorship, the right attitude, innovate, and let's win together.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Srinivas. So the final words, what we can take away from this is learn, innovate, have a mentor, no shortcuts, and take risk in your life.
Yeah. And focus on product and what the market wants and solve the problem. Okay, however small it may be. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Srinivas, for your time on a weekend, and enjoy your weekend. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Have
Bye.
a good day.
Bye bye.